Lance Mechanics here, and today I want to talk about technicians versus service advisors. And for the general public who don't know, this is a very touchy subject for a lot of technicians, especially in the flat rate world. So I'll give you a little history here. I personally started out as a service advisor back in 2013. I was working at a Hyundai, and I moved up through the ranks, and I ended up working in the back shop for some time. And let me tell you, I understand what a technician goes through starting out on that side of the industry. You can be the best technician in the world, but a service advisor can drop the ball and seriously affect your wages. It is unbelievable. You can have every ball in your court except them, or sorry, I should say, you could do everything perfectly, and at the end of the day, it comes down to them. And for everybody out there, every mechanic, you have the ability to sell jobs. When I was at a private garage, every job I quoted, I talked to the customer and I sold it to them. They were starting to say I could sell ice to an Eskimo at some point. But no, the general public loves talking to technicians. They love seeing your input. They love being brought in the back and being shown what's wrong with their vehicle. You lose that when you're talking to a service advisor, and I think customers are very wary of it. So some of the I'll give you some of my perspective at the dealership, because I was polling such huge numbers. Yeah, service advisors play favorites. It's incredible. When I put through a quote, you were damn right. They were not helping out the other techs. They were kind of prioritizing mine. That happens in the real world. And when something like that happens, those other techs are getting screwed over because their jobs that are being sent in aren't being prioritized. And this happens at every dealership. You don't want to think about it happening, but it does happen. Service advisors, they do play favorites because there are technicians who have very few comebacks, and because they have few comebacks, they have less angry customers. And that's a really hard thing for a service advisor to get away from because it affects them at the end of the day. Dealing with the public is very tough, especially in a warranty situation. Every customer thinks they have warranty until they don't. Just giving you mechanics a perspective, I had to deal with that as a service advisor. And when I was at a Hyundai, the cheapest brand in my opinion, oh my goodness, it's a different breed of customers. So I'm going to say this is more Fords I've noticed. There's something toxic about the service advisors at Ford dealerships. I've seen it in the shops where you have the diesel guys, they're their own little cliquey area. Then you have the normal guys who work on trucks and the SUVs. And then service advisors in those situations are very, very unusual. They're almost like they're above you. They walk in and, oh, I'm going to give you some work. They kind of talk down to you, even though you're the educated person. And I've seen that at some other dealerships too. I just really noticed a lot of things at Ford. There's something weird about Ford dealerships. So for the general public, a service advisor can make or break a technician. I'll give you some more insight here. So Napa, they're a big, huge, multi-billion-dollar corporation. They probably do $10 billion a year in revenue. And I remember going through a bunch of training courses when I was at a private garage because Napa Auto Pros are huge. And the one thing they said to me in these training courses, one service advisor can barely handle two technicians. And you'll go into a dealership and you'll see like 4 service advisors, and they'll have anywhere from 12 to 24 technicians in the back. How the heck do they handle all that? And when you're on commission base, you think they're going to give their jobs away to another service advisor to expedite things? It's rare. It does happen, but not likely. So you have one service advisor handling multiple techs, multiple estimates. The work isn't getting pushed through quick. A lot of the time, in a way around this, the service advisors will rebook the job. And you know how hard that is when you already had the tires off, you got everything diagnosed, you have the parts in stock. Oh my goodness, that is frustrating. That does happen. We try not to let it happen, but it does happen. Try not to let it happen. And things like that really hurt a technician and their hours in the day. Another big thing I find is really hard for a technician to handle is finding out that most service advisors are making way more than the mechanics. And the general public doesn't know this. I'm going to give you an example because I never asked the dealership where I was at, but straight up, every service advisor is on commission. So you imagine you got one service advisor handling 5 technicians, and he's getting commission on every single job that a technician's doing. That is a lot of money in a day. So this is an example. We had a technician leave the dealership we were at. He was a young guy. He went to a Toyota as a service advisor, and he let slip that on one engine job, he made $1,200 in commission. One engine job that was CP. So that's a lot in labor. And try and think of it like this. Even if that technician was paid 30 hours for that job, he is nowhere near what that friggin' service advisor made in commission on that one job. Now you got one service advisor handling multiple techs. Imagine how much they make in a day. It's ludicrous amount of the commission they can make. And that's where technicians are really, really upset with dealerships, because all the onus is on us. We take all the responsibility. We deal with all the comebacks. Someone gets hurt, it's on us. The service advisor, they can brush it away. It's unfortunate, but that's the way the industry is. We are responsible for that vehicle the second that we put our name on it. And for the amount of responsibility we have to take, we should be making way more than these service advisors on commission. I know some of you may be service advisors and you may be upset in the comments, but I was a service advisor too. And I've sold plenty of jobs to the customers and the public. So I really don't agree with the whole dealership model. And there is nobody who should be making more than a skilled tradesperson in the dealership. Sales is a whole different department, but when each service advisor is clearing more than mechanics, that's just not right. And you're going to see in the comments, there's going to be a lot of upset mechanics. It's the industry right now. I don't know a solution. I'd love to have a solution, but my only solution is manufacturers sell directly to the public, so there's no warranty on vehicles. I'll say this in a few videos there, but OEM manufacturers tried to sell to you, the general public, and the dealership owners, the second, third generation ones, lobbied against it. Imagine buying these $100,000 trucks for like 20 or 30 grand, but you have no warranty. A lot of people can save up for 20, 30 grand. They'll set goals. They'll work harder. The economy would boom if you got rid of these dealerships, and it'd be a better place. There'd be a lot more vehicles on the road, a lot more people fixing things. That's just the way it is right now. So if you made it this far into the video, thank you. Subscribe, like, help a fellow out. I'm just ranting on in these videos. I'm really enjoying it. As I continue, and I read the comments. I do read a lot of the comments here, and you guys give great suggestions. So yeah, Lance Mechanics, have a great day.